Hey, my name's Jason Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I've got an update on the Renters' Rights Bill. We've got an update on when things are likely to become law, what parts of the Renters' Rights Bill will happen first, because it's not going to roll out all in one stage. Some of it will happen very quickly. Some of it will take a long time, if not years, to be implemented. We're going to talk about that. We're going to also talk about some of the expectations on the good and proper home standards and what expectations you might have as a landlord for how often you need to update kitchens and bathrooms and all of that wonderful kind of stuff. So make sure, if you're new around here, that you haven't done already, do subscribe to the channel over there and hit the bell notification. We're going to have all the updates on the Renters' Rights Bill this week and as it goes through Parliament and becomes law. So you want to get that. But you also want to get all the latest house price news, interest rate news, and much, much more. So subscribe and hit the bell to get that. And let's get some more views on this video. How do we do that? Simple. Smash like, tickle like, do something to that like button. That helps us with the YouTube algorithm, and that's really helped the channel grow so far. So thank you to everybody that does that. So the Renters' Rights Bill has been moving through Parliament really quickly. And if you want more details on what's in the bill so far, we've got an ebook which I'm going to link below that you can click on and download the latest copy of that. But in short, the Renters' Rights Bill is all about giving tenants better quality accommodation. You see, lots of landlords are very good, but there are some that are absolutely, get the name, a rogue landlord, and it's very fair that they're called that. And that minority of bad landlords is causing problems for tenants, and the government has just had enough, and they want to make sure that everybody gets a decent place to live, which is right. But there are some parts of the bill that really do spook landlords. You see, maybe you do get bad landlords, but you also get bad tenants. And getting rid of a bad tenant can be very costly and time intensive. And that worries a lot of landlords. And one of the main parts of the Renters' Rights Bill that they're looking to get rid of is Section 21. I think by far that's the biggest concern for landlords, that they can't get their property back in a timely manner. And so because of that, lots of landlords are quitting the market. And that means that rents are going to be forced up, and the private rental sector will shrink at a time when we need more rental properties. So Property Mark has been talking about what expectations landlords can have right now and tenants with regards to the Renters' Rights Bill and how quickly is this going to roll out. So let's have a look at what they're talking about here. So this data is from Property Mark. And so they're saying that the Renters' Rights Bill will be active in months. And I agree with that. I think we're going to go through the report stage tomorrow. Then we're going to have a few other little bits that happen, and it will go up to the King for sign off. And then I think we will be law, the Renters' Rights Bill, by late summer or early autumn. I don't think it's if this happens, I think it's when. And I think that is going to happen fairly quickly. I don't think there's too much of a problem. Now, there are some parts that have been tabled, some amendments that have been tabled that I did a video about last week, which was a very popular video. Go and check that out. And talks about selective licensing being stricter and more councils actually having that. And so that's something that could be added to the bill, but that's not a definite. But I think as it stands, things will move quite quickly and this will become law. So what things will happen first, according to Property Mark? Well, they are saying the things that will happen in 2025 are tenancies. So as in the amendments to tenancies. And the amendments to tenancies are that it will go to a rolling tenancy. So as your tenancy expires, maybe you've got your tenant on a 6-month deal or a 12-month deal, the renewal would become a rolling tenancy, meaning it would last forever. That's quite easy for the government to implement because there's not much to do on their part. They're just going to say, this is the law, this is what you need to do. And then if people don't follow the law, it's easier for people to be gets addressed if someone needs to go to court for any reason. So tenancies would go onto a rolling tenancy with 2 months notice. Now that worries a few landlords. It's not one of the biggest problems in the bill, but it does worry some people, and it does mean that someone could take a new tenancy with you immediately on moving in, give you 2 months notice, and be out of that property quite quickly, effectively making it a short-term let for themselves before they move on to something else. So tenancies, I think as well, I agree with Property Mark here. I think this could get implemented very quickly because in their eyes, the government's eyes, it's fairly easy to tick it off and say it's done. Now, Property Mark are also saying that they think that the Section 21 stuff, getting rid of that, would also go in 2025. That's quite crazy if it does. They could be right. I'm 50-50 on whether this one happens. If it does, I could see major problems with getting access to properties if you need to. Now, you can still get rid of tenants for various reasons. Rental arrears, you can get rid of them for damaging your property, public nuisance, and various things like that. Or you can get your property back if you need to do a major refurbishment, which I just made a video earlier about the EPC stuff. And so a lot of landlords are considering getting rid of a tenant in order to be able to do major works and EPC stuff. Now, if that goes, this Section 21 stuff, I think the courts aren't ready. The Conservatives agreed with that, which is one reason they got rid of the Renters' Rights Bill, or their version of it, totally. And so, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with this. That's what they're predicting, 2025, Section 21 gone. Now, they're saying that the things that will be 2027 are a bit more difficult to sort out. Now, one is a landlord database. And I think that probably takes a while to gather. Obviously, someone will get a government contract. They will spend millions of pounds making this database. If you're the company that builds it, great for you. You're going to be very wealthy from that. But it will take time to implement. It will take time to get people to register on this database. And yeah, it probably, all government contracts and projects always get delayed. So yeah, this could be something, and they could be right that will be delayed. For me, I don't really care if we had to put a database today, to be honest. Like, what's the problem? It's not a major deal. The HMRC know I'm a landlord from my tax returns. So, next, the decent home standards is a big part of the bill. And so the decent home standards, they are saying, will take a while to implement. There'll be lots of discussions about what is a decent home and what standards are. But two of the things they're talking about here are that a new kitchen, you need to put a new kitchen in every 20 years and a bathroom updated every 30 years. I mean, I don't understand that. I think it shouldn't be based on the amount of years. It should be what is the quality of it. I mean, why can't you have a kitchen that's 25 years old if it's made from decent wood and lasts? Why do you have to get rid of it? They're not saying that that's definitely not going to happen. But like we're saying, there's a discussion around what is a decent home, what standards must there be. And so these are two things that they're looking at. The age of kitchens, the age of bathrooms. Obviously, other things will be in there around mould and stuff like that. That's important as well. So, look, this stuff will take time. And I do think they're right, Property Mark, here. So we had the Leasehold Reform Act that went through, and that's way off from being completed. It's law now, but it's little bits that are getting released. So we had in the Leasehold Reform Act quite quickly that you didn't have to wait 2 years after purchase to extend the lease. But a lot of the other stuff in there, like extending your lease to 990 years and the marriage value going, didn't happen. So yeah, there's a lot of different things happening here. And I think that they're right. This won't all become law later in the summer and all be active. It will need to get implemented in certain stages. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think that the Renters' Rights Bill will be... Two questions. Do you think the Renters' Rights Bill will be law this year? And do you think they will stagger the implementation of it? Let me know in the comments below. Do smash like, do check the ebook out, do check out all the other content as well on the channel, including this video right here.